Class, 11th Subject, EV/Environmental Science Unit 1. Understanding Environment Examination Oriented Question Very short answer type, to be answered in one word or one sentence. 1. Define environment. ANS, environment is everything that is around us. It can be living or non-living things. It includes physical, chemical, and other natural forces. Living things live in their environment. They constantly interact with it and adapt themselves to conditions in their environment. 2. Define biosphere. ANS, the biosphere is defined as the region on, above, and below the Earth's surface where life exists. 3. Term atmosphere means gaseous cover. 4. Ozone layer is present in which layer stratosphere. 5. Define lithosphere. ANS, the lithosphere is the rocky outer part of the Earth. It is made up of the brittle crust and the top part of the upper mantle. The lithosphere is the coolest and most rigid part of the Earth. Short answer type. Question 1. Define hydrosphere. ANS, hydrosphere can be defined as the total amount of water on a planet. It includes water on the surface of the planet, underground, and in the air. A planet's hydrosphere can be liquid, vapor, and ice too. What is important of environmental science? ANS, it helps us to establish a standard for a safe, clean, and healthy natural ecosystem. It also deals with important issues like safe and clean drinking water, hygienic living conditions and clean and fresh air, fertility of land, healthy food, and development. 3. What are the components of biosphere? Biosphere is the region of Earth where life exists and interacts with the environment. It has 3 components: lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. The lithosphere is the terrestrial part of the biosphere. The hydrosphere is the aquatic portion and supports life. The atmosphere is the air that living organisms use for respiration. It deflects harmful radiation from the sun and determines weather patterns. 4. Write the name of layers of atmosphere. ANS, Earth's atmosphere has 5 major and several secondary layers. From lowest to highest, the major layers are the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. 5. What is the biological classification of environment? ANS, the identification of characteristics among living organisms and grouping them on the basis of their features is called biological classification. Living things are divided into 5 kingdoms. 1. Animal. 2. Planta. 3. Fungi. 4. Protista. 5. Mineral. Long answer type question, 75 to 100 words. 1. What is environmental science? Discuss the aim and scope of environmental science. ANS, the term environmental science refers to a grouping of scientific disciplines that are all concerned with the physical, chemical, and biological characteristics of the surroundings in which organisms live. It focuses environmental efforts on recovery of ecosystems, conserving biodiversity and the natural and cultural environment, good human health, efficient material cycles free from dangerous substances, sustainable use of natural resources, efficient energy use, and patterns of consumption. The scope of environmental studies is very wide and it deals with many areas like I. Conservation of natural resources. 2. Ecological aspects. 3. Pollution of the surrounding natural resources. 4. Controlling the pollution. V. Social issues connected to it. And 6. Impacts of human population on the environment. 2. How has Earth originated? ANS, Earth formed around 4.54 billion years ago, approximately 1/3 the age of the universe, by accretion from the solar nebula. Volcanic outgassing probably created the primordial atmosphere and then the ocean, but the early atmosphere contained almost no oxygen. Archean, 4000 to 2500. Proterozoic, 2500 to 541. Earth formed from debris orbiting around our Sun about 42 billion years ago. That is also the approximate age of the Sun, but it is not the beginning of our story. The story really begins with the Big Bang nearly 14 billion years ago, which spewed hydrogen atoms throughout the universe. 3. How can the relationship between human and environment be improved? ANS, it is important to work towards creating a better environment in order to protect our health, and because environmental improvements such as tree planting can have many beneficial effects, such as creating more spring water, a higher water table, and less soil erosion.